Go to my page. All right, we are live. Yo, 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 what's good, YouTube? Good gamers, it is your boy Lincoln Clay coming back at you with another live stream. Uh, make sure you hit the like button, help spread my content to a wider audience. I would appreciate it. And make sure you hit the bell icon so you can stay notified when I put out new content. I would appreciate that as well. If you're new to the channel, welcome to the channel. I hope you're enjoying the content. And please excuse me for sounding a little subdued, as my grandmother was laid to rest today. So I've still got a lot of emotions going through. So bear with me on that. What's going on, Savage? How you doing, bro? Um, and so, as the title shows, anyone who is a gamer and they still live on the planet Earth has probably heard the news by now that God of War has sold $3.1 million. I mean, three. I'm sorry, 3.1 million copies in this first 3 days. Thank you, Savage. I appreciate it. Um, and so that's not surprising to me one bit. As a matter of fact, I think it was a week or two ago on the PlayStation Plus podcast. Sick Humor, shout out to him. In closing the podcast, he thanks Ryan, I appreciate it. In closing the show, Sick Humor wanted to get everybody's predictions for God of War. You know what it would do on the what's up, Game Over. Everybody, he wanted everyone to give their predictions of what the game will do on on its opening weekend, what it would do over a week, what it would do over a month. Thank you, Righteous Fish. I really appreciate it. Yeah, she did. She lived a very good life, Um, up until today, until I had to get up on the podium and speak, I was able to keep my emotions in check. But once I got out up there, something came over me, and I had a hard time keeping it together. So the emotions are still, fresh right now. They're all over the place. So that's why I sound subdued. Um, but I still definitely wanted to do the stream because I'm passionate about gaming. Um, but So getting back to the predictions about the God of War. So Sick Humor went down the entire panel and wanted to get everyone's predictions on God of War, what it would do on this opening weekend. And I think I predicted that the game would do $2.5 million. I mean, 2.5 million sold. I keep wanting to say dollars, but the game. I predicted that the game would do 2.5 million, maybe even 3 million on opening weekend. And I think I predicted that the game would do 5 million within a week. And then I think for lifetime sales, I think I predicted that the game would do 15 million. So I wasn't too far off. I'm well, I didn't read the article. Just seeing these things all over YouTube saying that the game did 3.1 million over 3 days. I'm assuming that's opening weekend, but it doesn't matter when it was, whether it was a 3 day stretch that just happened yesterday. Either way, it doesn't surprise me because it's an amazing game. So I'm not surprised in the least that the game did these numbers. And so my biggest reason for wanting to do this stream was to basically say that the Microsoft, Phil Spencer, and other people try to push this narrative that single player games are dying and no one's really playing those anymore. So they seem to, use that as their jump off point to try to push multiplayer games. And I'm an old school gamer. As a matter of fact, I'll be 51 years old tomorrow. I'm an old school gamer, and um, by the time online gaming started up, to me, the single player to me was still the feature part of the game, and I look no further than the original Gears of War. The hype I felt for that game, and not for the multiplayer, because I had no idea what the multiplayer was going to be like. It was a campaign, and you know, incredible graphics. It had a great story, and that was one of those games where I kind of savored every moment of the original Gears of War because it was such a great story. Um, and then when I got to the multiplayer, that was just an added bonus. But I still felt that the campaign, the story was still the feature part of the game, and I feel that way now. The Last of Us, the Uncharted series, I still feel like the campaign is the feature part of those games. Um, incredible graphics, great stories, and so and then back to other entities trying to push this narrative that single player games are dying. Um, and then you even had the media, who I think they kind of criticized the game because I think they were nitpicking and just looking for a reason to say that this isn't the great game that everybody's talking about. I've even read some articles where they tried to imply that some of the boss fights were repetitive and that some of the bosses, was the same troll that you're looking at, or what have you. Um, that may be the case in a couple of the boss fights, but so what? Take my name for instance, Lincoln Clay, that came from the Mafia 3 game. Um, God knows if there's ever a game I played that was repetitive, that was it. But I still felt it was an amazing game, and I still love the story. Mafia 2 and Mafia 3, I absolutely love the stories in those games. And so, um, with Mafia 3, all the boss fights were the same. Um, all of them looked the same. There was a couple of, different boss fights that was a little bit different, like the boss fight where you had to sneak into that party dressed as one of the waiters. That was I like that boss fight. But for the most part, a lot of the boss fights, um, yeah, a lot of the characters look the same, but so what? It was the story that was the whole thing with me. And then in the case of God of War, it's everything, the story, the combat, the gameplay, the breathtaking graphics. It's all of it to me. And my next words, are probably going to be pretty harsh. They probably going to offend some people. But to Microsoft, uh to people like EA, maybe even Ubisoft, even Amy Hennig herself, who tried to push the narrative that people aren't playing single player games anymore. All those people get the middle finger from me. Fuck all of y'all. Single players are alive and well, and they still have a strong presence. The problem with people like Microsoft trying to push that narrative that single player uh, games are dying. No, they're not dying. You just listening to a company talks who just wants to build a game once and try to collect money off of it for the next 15 or 20 years. And then, with this recent update with Sea of Thieves is a prime example of what they're trying to do, and like Jay Wags put out a video yesterday showing some of the cosmetics that were added in the recent update. You got a gun that's got a bottle on it that's supposed to be a sniper rifle. That bottle's a scope, and you had, I guess, some what looks like some uh I don't know, statues is the word that I want to use, on the front of ships that pretty much looked identical. And then, oh, the crazy part that he definitely showed was some of the weapons. I guess there was some swords added to see if every one of these swords look the same, but they have different titles. And so, you know, that kind of shit, it's just not for me. And I'll say it again, the Phil Spencer of Microsoft, EA, Ubisoft, Amy Hennig, and anybody else who tried to push this narrative, this single player games are dying and nobody's playing them. Fuck all y'all. Um, I love my single player games. I may not finish all of them, but I still love them. And at the end of the day, if you have a game that has a good story, I'll probably always take that over the multiplayer. You know, a multiplayer game, doing the same shit over and over again the same day gets old after a while. I mean, I bought Star Wars Battlefront and I didn't play the campaign on that because um Iden Versio didn't really jive with me. Um I don't know. I mean, it was just weird, how tough she was when she, stood for the Empire. And then, when she decided to flip the script and go join the Alliance, and join the rebels, she had that same snarling attitude, but now she's on a different side. So I never played that campaign. And I saw enough of it from people uploading the campaign on YouTube, people streaming the campaign. So I skipped over the campaign and went straight to the multiplayer. And I probably played that for about a month, and then it got old to me after a while. And then it got to the point where I would only come back and play the game like once or twice a week. And then once EA sent the update through the game that affected the soldier class that I was using the heavy class, and the soldier that I was using has a minigun that once it's charged up, I can pretty much spray everything in front of me. I don't know, for maybe 20 seconds, and EA sent the update through there, and then that minigun only works for about 5 seconds, and I mean that's how long it takes to pull the thing off my back before I can start shooting. So it was like, the minigun will spit out a couple of bullets and then that's it. Now I'm dodging shots, trying not to get hit while I'm waiting for the minigun to charge. So when they did that, they just, they killed the single player for me. It was already dying with me, but that finished it off. And I haven't touched Battlefront 2 since. You're right, Savage. Single player games is what made me into a gamer. You know, um, I've always liked a great story. I mean, Shenmue, the first Shenmue was a great game, was a great story. And when that game ended with Ryo Hazuki getting on the boat bound for Hong Kong so he can go find Lan Di, already knew. I said there's going to be a Shenmue 2. If they don't have a Shenmue 2, I would be utterly disappointed. And so with that being said, Shenmue 3 is a day one purchase for me. Um, the Yakuza series, that was a game that I was really interested in. But if I was deep into the Yakuza games the same way I was deep into Shenmue, that would have been a day one purchase for me as well. Even if it would have broke my back buying that game and then buying God of War, a couple of days later. But they could shove Shenmue 3. They could release it a day before Spider-Man. Hell, they could release that game 5 minutes before Spider-Man comes out, and I will still buy Shenmue 3 day one, because that's a story that has really gripped me, and I definitely want to see how this story plays out. The combat was already good. I definitely like the combat. Um, there was a skill tree in that game where you could unlock different moves and practice different moves. So that was an amazing game. Shenmue was ahead of its time. It had it all. It had a great combat system. It had the quick time events. It had a situation where you had to make choices. So it was an all around game. It was ahead of its time. So that was definitely a game that um, you know it was a game that I was waiting for. As far as the remaster goes, and but I heard the remaster, doesn't look too far from the original. So that's I guess I'll have to see for myself. I'll rent it or something. And if it looks good enough, I'll get it and I'll play it over again. But um After the success of God of War, I don't want to hear shit from anybody about single player games dying, because they're still here. I believe they're here to stay, and I think the difference between Microsoft and Sony in terms of the product that they're putting out, Sony understands that single player games are not going to last forever. So I think they have a realistic goal of what they're aiming for in terms of sales, and then they're working on the next one. Um, I think, how do I describe this? But Sony's pumping out game after game after game, and they're going to make their money, which is cool, but they're willing to do it over time, and they're willing to put out a lot of content to make that happen. Whereas, like I said, Microsoft wants to put out, one game and let that shit last for 20 years. I mean, take a look at when you stop and think about it, take a look at the 3 exclusives that Microsoft has this year. Sea of Thieves has no campaign. State of Decay 2 has no campaign. I guess Crackdown 3 has a campaign. I think it does. I mean, we know it has single player, but I don't know if there's going to be a story behind it. I don't, we'll have to wait and see, because I don't know if there's going to be a story behind it, or is it going to be a bunch of single player, free roam. But you know where I'm going with this. 3 games, 2 of them have no campaign, but all 3 of them focus on the multiplayer. So Microsoft is going to try to keep these games around for 15, 20 years. And they definitely plan on trying to do it through Game Pass. So, I had my harsh words that I said, fuck all of them. Do I want Sea of Thieves, State of Decay 2, and Crackdown 3 to fail? No. But I definitely want everybody around that to shut the damn mouths talking about single player again. God of War is, done some phenomenal numbers over a 3-day stretch. And we know that Spider-Man is going to do the same thing, if not more. Detroit Become Human. I think the game is going to do well, but I don't know if it's going to do as well. It's probably not, realistically. Let's be real about it. It's probably not going to do as well as God of War or Spider-Man. But at the very least, I hope the game does well enough that the studio gets their money back. But I think it will, because I don't know how much it took to make that game, but I think like Horizon Zero Dawn did it took $35 million to make that game, I believe. And the game did 7.4 million, I think, last time we got some numbers. So let me pull out my calculator and crunch those numbers. So the game sold for $50 retail. They didn't charge I don't think they charged $60 for the game. I think they charged 50 for it. So, and then it was on sale a couple of times, but just for the sake of me being able to crunch these numbers with this calculator, I'll go ahead and go 50. So we go 50 times 7,400,000. So that's 7.4 million. So what's it equal out to? So the game, I'm coming up with a number of 370 million. Now, it probably didn't do that number because, the game was on sale a few times. But I'd like to say that the game did at least 300 million. And hold on, wait, whoa, what'd you say? 9 million. Whoa. Let me go change those numbers. Come on, let me go back. Let me hit this clear button on this calculator, J-Dog. Thanks for pointing that out. So let's say 50 for the $50 times 9,000. Oh, 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 oh. And that equals, whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on. Let me redo that. Make sure I didn't make a mistake. 50. 50 times 9 million equals, okay, that's more like it. 450 million. That's not a bad number, J Dog. 450 million, 9.4. Wow. 9.4 million. So you know where I'm going with this. So the game did based on the 9 million that J Dog gave me, the game did 450 million. And that's a ballpark number because, like I said, we know the game's been on sale a number of times. 450 million for a $35 million investment. And I'm sure Guerrilla Games know that game's not going to last forever. You can prolong it with DLC, but they know eventually that well's going to run dry. So I'm sure that either they're working on their next game or they're talking to publishers to try to work on their next game. And given how Sony is, I'd like to think that maybe they struck a deal and they're already working on their next game for Sony. But on the Sony side of it, Sony knows that game's not going to last forever. 9.4 million in February? Savage, you sure about that? Damn. But still, where I'm going with this is that from the Sony standpoint, they're willing to spend money to make money. Microsoft wants to try to make $2 billion out of the paper bag. They want to try to find a way to make some money and not put any money into it. Technically, that's what they're doing with Game Pass right now. They've making what's going on, J Wags? While we're at it, I think I don't know if I mentioned it or not, but I will be joining J Wags at 7 o'clock Eastern. So make sure you subscribe to him. He's right there in the chat, JWags412. Make sure you subscribe to him. Check out his podcast at 7 o'clock Eastern, which is about a half an hour. And I just wanted to jump in here and give my quick 2 cents, before I go over there. Because there's going to be a few of us over there, and I'm sure it's going to be a bunch of different opinions. 8 p.m. Eastern, my bad. I'm sorry. 8 p.m. Eastern. JWags, 8 p.m. Eastern. So make sure you check it out. If you're not subscribed to him, subscribe to him so you can get notified and check it out. Oh, no doubt, Jay Wags, and thanks for having me in there. Oh, you know what? And speaking of which, now that you're in here, Jay Wags, that reminds me of another subject. And I mean, if you're free, you can actually, you can jump in here with me for a second and talk about the $1 billion, the 1 billion hours of playtime logged in on backwards compatibility games on the Microsoft side. Once again, they released another stat. They created another trophy for themselves. And now they're talking about how, there were over 1 billion hours of backwards compatibility, games played. Okay, let me send you the link real quick. Because I was going to be ready to shut it down in about a half hour anyway. So come in and kick it for about a half hour, 45 minutes. All right, let me go over to Twitter and find Mr. Wags. You hear? There you are. Oh, you know what? Jay Wags? I need you to follow me back so I can send you this message privately. Because if I post that link up there, post that link up there, it's going to be open, and God knows who might jump in here. Yeah, I'm on your page, and I don't see anything that gives me an option to send you a direct message. Oh, you follow me? Okay. Well, let me go back and check it out. Looking for you. No, you're not up there, Jay. Now I'm following you, but you're not following me because I'm looking at the people that is following me, and you are not up there. Okay, if you just did it now, let me refresh the page and see what happens, because there is a notification. There it is. There it is. There's the message that and here we go. One link coming right up, brother. And there you go. All right, links out. Just sent you the link. So while Jay Wags is on his way in here, I again, I guess Microsoft has some stats that they are pretty proud of, and one of them being that backwards compatible games, nearly 1 billion hours were logged in. Well, I mean, what other current gen games do you have on there? You know, besides Sea of Thieves, right now that's it. I don't know if Cuphead and I don't know if Cuphead is on Cuphead and Super Lucky's Tale. I don't know if that's on Game Pass, but I definitely don't think PUBG is on Game Pass. Because they made sure they waited until PUBG came out before they went ahead and made Game Pass go live, because they didn't want all that money to get away. They definitely wanted you to pay for that shit separately. That's all good, Savage. But I still went with J Dog's number of 9 million, and it still came up with a number with a total of 450 million. So, you know, that computer booting up. All right, Jay. So that's pretty good, you know. And like I said, I'm really happy for everybody involved. I'm happy for what's up, Scottish? I'm definitely happy for Sony Santa Monica, for Sony, and you know, and I'm not saying that. What's up, Fatal? What's going on? Same to you, man. Jay Wags is on his way in here. If you want to jump in, I'll send you a link real quick, because right now I'm talking about the 1 billion hours of backwards compatibility games that was logged into Xbox Game Pass Live, whatever you want to call it. And so, well, how about I'll tell you what, Fatal. Let me go ahead and send you the link, because you said you want to rant on Titanfall's podcast tonight. So how about I send you a link so you can come on in here and get warmed up on your rants? You know, while we at it, shout out to Titanfall Princess. Um, you know, I know she had a podcast tonight. I didn't give her you know, the options open for me to jump in there. So I'll have to see how that all plays out. You know, how long am I going to be in Jay Wags podcast, and how long is she going to be you know, streaming? So if I could be in two places at once, I'll try it. But where you at here? Fatal. There we go. Send a direct message, and one link coming up for you, sir. And there you be. So come on in here. Get your vocal cords warmed up. Come on in here and do a little rant. Let me hear what you got to say about these 1 billion hours of backwards compatibility that was logged in. And so that is such an amazing stats. So amazing that, like I said, it makes me want to shoot to Walmart right now and pick up a Xbox One X just so I can go back and play a very old game. Wait a minute. Is that the sound of you reaching in the Dorito bag? I heard something.
Yeah, this is the sound of me eating a goddamn fucking what do you call it there? A wrap. A chicken wrap.
A chicken wrap. That
Hell
must
yeah.
that I was gonna say that must be a crunchy ass chicken wrap.
No. That was just me unwrapping it.
Oh, okay. That's what's up. So, my friend, the Canadian grizzly bear, what's going on with you?
Man. Let me tell you, let me just first of all, humongous shout out to Santa Monica and Corey Borlaug for that 3.1 million. That's fucking incredible.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand, right? Sorry, forgive me. I don't understand this notion how diluted, mind fucked, plenty of other words to use to sum this out, to sum this whole entire thing up. When it comes to the Xbox fan base, I don't understand how any gamer in the right mind can say some fucking the most idiotic retardation shit and think that they're not in the wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you've seen your fair share of people on Twitter saying some ridiculous garbage, trash ass bullshit. And I happened to see one today that literally made me flip my fucking shit. I saw somebody today on Twitter basically say that games does not define consoles.
What?
No word of a fucking bullshit. And when I saw this fucking post, like my heart literally stopped for like a fraction of a second, dude. And like my fucking heat level, dude, for me getting pissed off. I'm sorry, dude, but I'm not going to let that fucking slide. Not with me. Not with me, sir. Because that is the most idiotic, moronic piles of fucking steaming cockfuck I've ever seen in my life. Who says that dumb shit? So going based on this motherfucker's logic, then what the fuck define the consoles of past generations then? Memory cards?
Exactly.
Turbo buttons?
I mean, if games don't define a console, then what does? I mean, the ability to watch TV on that Xbox, is that what defines it?
I don't even know. I don't know. All I know is that when I see shit like that, it gets me fucking going. But my rant is more along the lines of the shit that people say to defend a brand that they are so loyal to, but completely be in denial about it. Coming out and saying that services is going to be the future. No, motherfucker. It's something that you yourself accepted because Microsoft ain't giving you shit.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see Sony reaching for the stars with services? Oh, but they got PS Now. Did that count? But yet at the same time, they're not ignoring what their fan base fucking wants.
You know something, and I definitely meant to say this in one of my streams, that I think one of the reasons why Microsoft conducts themselves the way they do, they keep saying some of the ridiculous shit, and people keep following them and keep believing in what they're saying. And I'll give you a prime example. And people may not like me saying this, but I'm going to go ahead and say it. Microsoft is an American company.
Yeah.
And I think they are counting on American patriotism to sell their product. They're going to expect you to buy their product because you're American and they're an American company. And I'll give you an example. Back in because I'm old, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the mid 70s, there was a gas crunch. I guess there was some shit going on with, I think, us and Iran or something like that caused the gas shortage. So gas prices doubled. And then in the late 70s, cars like the Honda Civic, you know, cars that was getting like 40 miles, 45 miles to the gallon, you know, those cars were selling like hotcakes, you know, and this is like, this went on into the 80s during the Reagan administration. The Honda Civics, the Japanese cars, that were really efficient on gas was selling like hotcakes over here. Now, stay with me, viewers, so I can try to tell you where I'm going with this. Our cars, their cars were selling like hotcakes over here, but our cars over in Japan was not selling because our cars were junk. Our cars were junk, not because American car makers did not know how to build them, but because American car makers were building the cars to fail after, so many years to force you to turn around and buy another one. It still happens right now. A lot of American companies build products to fail. And it's ever so evident with phones, in my opinion, because after a couple of years, you have to get another phone, because once that memory, they deliberately put a small amount of memory in that phone, and it only takes a second to fill that phone up from all the updates, because when you get an update, it doesn't overwrite the previous one. It takes up more and more of your memory until it's finally used up. Once the memory is totally used up, the phone starts malfunctioning, and then you have to go get another one. So the shit was, oh shit, the Google Hangouts ain't working for you? If you're doing it from your phone, that's probably why. I forgot. You said you're doing it on your computer. Oh, shit.
You got to do it on your phone, J-Wags.
Well, he said he was booting up his computer. I hope you got that figured out, because don't forget, you got your podcast at 8 o'clock. So if it's acting up, whether you come in here or not, you probably want to get that rectified before we go live at 8 o'clock or attempt to go live. But just I'll send you another link, just to be on the safe side. What the hell? I didn't know she was following me. What the hell? What the hell?
Who?
One of my former boos is following me.
Oh shit.
There he is. Let me send that link again. Send a direct message. So to finish my story, so as I was saying, our cars weren't selling in Japan because they were junk, because that's just the American way. They deliberately build cars or American products to fail after a few years. So in any case, going back to the situation with the Japan American car trade, Reagan was basically telling the Japanese that they're selling cars over here like hotcakes and they're not taking our cars. So Reagan basically told him, either you start taking some of our cars or we reduce the amount of cars that you can send over here. And the Japanese said, okay, fine. And they just started raising the prices of their cars because of it. And that's where it all started, when you have cars like a Lexus costing just as much as a Benz. Oh, there he is.
What up,
there he is. What up? So that's where I'm going with this. Microsoft functions like an American company. They don't give you value for your money, but I think they count on you buying it because of the loyal following. And part of that is because of the American presence, we've heard some of the things that some people have said about Sony because they're not an American company. And some people have sworn up and down that they'll never buy a PlayStation because it is a Japanese company or what have you. So
that to me is the most idiotic thing I ever heard in my life. From like, if somebody ignores a PS fucking or anything Sony console related wise, is fucking retarded. Straight up fucking retarded.
Not only that, I was
by American Fatal. By American.
So I was told that
shut up, Joe Bag.
when the OG Xbox launched, I was told that Bill Gates went on the Oprah Winfrey show and gave Xboxes to everyone in the crowd. And he said that, they came out with the Xbox because it was time that an American product dominated the North American market. That alone right there is going to have people buying the product out of patriotism, not because they think it's going to be a good product. And I think that is one of the things that is keeping people hanging on with the Xbox brand right now. So I didn't necessarily have to say, make the American, Japanese connection out of it necessarily, but I'm still trying to make the connection that they have enough loyal followers that they can throw bullshit out there and people will still buy it.
So I have to ask, if you don't mind me asking this, because I've never seen anybody ever ask this at all, period, as a genuine, legit question. What are the biggest motivations, right, that I always keep hearing from fucking Microsoft and everybody saying how the Xbox is better as far as features goes? Okay, fine. You know what? Let's take a moment here and break that motherfucker down. What features does Xbox have that Sony doesn't?
Backwards compatible.
Okay, fine. Fair enough. There is that. Well, no, because Sony technically does have it to an extent.
Yeah,
but it's not as good. I will say it's not as good. But
wasn't the PS3 backwards compatible in the beginning?
No.
What about the PS2?
No, well, they're doing that now with like the re-releases, but at least with them, here's the one thing that stands out amongst the PS2 classics compared to the 360, right? Or even the OG Xbox. OG Xbox games, on whether it be on Game Pass or you buy them outright backwards compat, nothing is updated. They're not enhanced. Not only that, too, as well, there's no fucking achievement support. At least with Sony, on the other hand, when they do release some fucking PS2 classics from time to time, they're worth getting because not only do they add a trophy list to your fucking platinums, but the games actually look better and play better. Period.
Hey, sorry to interrupt you guys. I just looked at the group chat on Twitter that we have here for the podcast. Okay, I hadn't heard about this 1,000 or 1 billion hour thing until Lincoln said something in his video just now. So, if you include me in Lincoln, like where did this come from and when was it said? Today?
No, I'll do more than that. I'll show you just a second.
Hold on.
No, I believe you entirely. I'm saying I've heard nothing about it yet.
You're referring to that.
But I want you to see it for yourself. So just a second.
Yeah, you're talking about that Road to E3 article that was posted on Xbox Wire, right?
I saw Lincoln had some Xbox going in his throat in the chat there, so I'm trying to.
They did an article, which I'm sure fucking Lincoln's about to give you right now. I saw this earlier, dude. I had a laugh. I'm not gonna read it off, but I read through it and it was fucking
right here.
retarded, dude.
Here we go. I don't even need to get into here. So let me just share my screen with y'all so you can see it for yourself. Screen share. And here we go. Is everybody seeing that?
Mm-hmm.
Xbox backward compatibility playtime is near as 1 billion hours. So, I mean, is my whole point is this something? Is this supposed to be a reason why I'm supposed to jump up and go get an Xbox One X?
No, but I'll read you another juicy one here.
But real quick though, and this is business me being, I'm trying to be. Did Microsoft put that stat out, or is that IGN saying that?
Microsoft put that stat out
today.
Yep.
It had to come from them because.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, because who else is gonna fucking know that?
Right, because they're close guarded with the with the sales numbers, but they'll tell you everything else. They'll tell you that they made $2 billion. They'll tell you that there was 2 million end users on Sea of Thieves. They'll tell you that the Xbox has the highest engagement in the market. So of course that stat originated from them.
I had somebody on Twitter tell me today that Sea of Thieves sold 2 million in its first week.
I didn't hear that. And then in his first week,
then he linked me to an article that said that.
Okay, I got a juicy one for you guys because this was also posted today by the CEO of gaming at Microsoft. Right, a record-setting road to E3. Now, listen to this fucking hilarity. Right, today we're witnessing a record-setting number of players playing at record levels. Right now, listen closely to the words. Right, listen closely to the words. And engaging in new ways. Xbox Live players are up 13% and Xbox One sales are up 15% over the same time period last year. But that's not all. We've seen more than 600,000 friendships forged with the Looking for Group feature, and there are now more than 1.2 million clubs on Xbox Live. Wow, big numbers that we should get all excited for, right? But it gets better. Listen to this. We're seeing tremendous engagement of mega hits like Fortnite and Far Cry 5, both of which play best in 4K Ultra HD on Xbox One X, joining the more than 200 games that now feature Xbox One X enhancements, But we're also seeing fantastic engagement with Xbox One consoles exclusives like Sea of Thieves, the fastest selling Microsoft new IP on this console generation, and Players Unknown Battlegrounds with new desert theme map is now available to play on a dedicated test server ahead of its launch in Xbox Game Preview later in May. We're also reaching a couple milestones recently with players having enjoyed over 4 billion hours on games released through our ID at Xbox program, and nearly 1 billion hours on games in our Xbox backwards compatibility library. Xbox Game Pass has been a great contributor to the growth in players and engagement, with over 100 great games available for one low monthly price and new games added every month, including new games from Microsoft Studios the same day as their global releases. Xbox Game Pass is all about introducing you to new genres, franchises, and games. It's been incredible to see the growth in the service and the growth in the engagement in franchises made available in Xbox Game Pass. We're looking forward to bringing Save Decay 2 to Xbox Game Pass members on May 22nd, the same day as a global release, as we continue to work to deliver the ultimate gaming membership for our fans. Now, the last part here, I'll be real quick here. This one also takes the cake too as well. It's also been amazing to see what the passionate Mixer community has achieved in such short period of time. Late last year, Mixer exceeded more than 10 million active users in a month for their first time, a milestone we've since eclipsed and then some each month to start 2018. Hype Zone channels for Fortnite and Players Unknown's Battleground are among the most popular on Mixer, including introducing you to a range of streamers in the midst of the most intense battle royale moments. Creative new channels have been started for game developers sharing their work in progress games, as well as cooking, music, and art. It's just a few examples. Mixer will continue to grow thanks to you all, staying true to remaining a positive and fun space for gamers, streamers, and viewers.
Can you I'm gonna ask you to repeat that.
Whoa.
I'm gonna be on Titanfall tonight.
Whoa.
Oh, you said he was coming.
Did you? Fatal.
I thought Titanfall was not gonna be doing hers today because I know she's kind of been busy the last couple of days. So my bad, dude.
She is or isn't?
No, she is doing her podcast tonight.
Well,
I didn't hear anything from her until like no more than like 40 minutes ago, dude.
When did she ever do it on a Thursday?
She moved it from Friday to Thursday.
From what I understood, when I had her on the Lincoln show, she said she does a podcast on Tuesday and Thursdays.
Yep. Yeah, she used to be on Fridays, and then she switched it to Thursday because too many people did their shit on Friday.
Mm-hmm. Now, about those stats that you just read, whatever you want to call them. I mean, are you running for president? Because that's what the fuck that shit sounded like. You know, it sounded like some damn political shit.
Everything but a solid number, man.
No, that is originally an official post on Xbox Wire by Mike Nichols, CMO of gaming at Microsoft.
I mean, they give you every stat. They create so many damn stats, and just out of nowhere, how many hairs can they pluck out of your ass crack? I mean, they just come out with so many damn stats that we never heard of. That like, who the fuck keeps this?
Whoa. Okay, can I share my screen?
Yeah.
If you don't mind, sorry, I apologize, but I just saw this Spartan God just.
Okay, so how do I go about giving you control to share your screen?
I can do it here on my end. Just click on my name in the Hangout, so that way everybody gets to see it.
Okay.
All right. I want you guys to look at this. Spartan God just fucking tweeted me this, and he just took a picture of what this person said. What in the holy Marian Christ fuck are people doing this? Why? What is the whole and sole fucking purpose of this bullshit? This is what I'm talking about. This is why Microsoft gets slammed for the shit that they fucking do. Because the fan base that involves themselves in their quote unquote eco fucking system, and you have people out here saying this retarded shit. Come on, bro.
First of all, don't even go with the terrorist shit, because we have the most. I think we probably gotta have the most. One of the highest domestic terrorist acts in the world, shooting up, they shooting up these damn churches, shooting up Burger King, shooting up movie theaters is terrorism. But because, because of certain demographics. They always want to throw this excuse out there that the person was a lone wolf, that the person was mentally ill. I get sick of hearing that shit, you know, but if the person has some kind of Islamic background, then they automatically say it was terrorism. But that shit happens here. Terrorism is rampant here. Every time I go to a fucking movie theater, I have to look over my shoulder to see if some nut's getting ready to pull out an AR-15 that he was able to buy legally from a gun show.
Yep. Plus, you got to worry about just in general. You have to be scared to go outside every once in a while too, as well. Even when kids go to school nowadays, they got to look over their fucking shoulder, man.
But that's the kind of shit that I was talking about. That's where I was going with what I said earlier. That a lot of American companies count on American patriotism to sell their product. I can't tell you, like, for instance, I've 11 out of my last 10 cars have been a Honda or an Acura. I owned 5 Honda Accords before I started buying Acuras, which is actually the same company. Acura is basically a luxurious Honda. So I'm driving my 5th Acura right now. No, 6th. It's an older car, it's Acura RL. But in any case, years ago, I would be sitting at a stoplight and somebody pulls up in a big ass truck, roll down the window and was like, buy American, don't buy that Jap junk, don't buy that rice burner, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, fuck you. I buy what I want. I buy,
yeah, dude.
I'll buy the cars that suits me, so,
no,
but now, you have, in keeping with the American car stuff, like I said, they would deliberately build cars to fail, just so you can go buy another one in a few years. And because it's an American product, you'll buy a Ford and the shit been in the shop 10 times over the last 3 years. When you finally get ready to get rid of it and you go buy a new Ford, you'll talk about how good the last one was and how good it ran and how I would recommend it to anyone and how it's built for tough, even though the shit's been in and out of shops. So on a wide scale level, that goes back to what I was saying. So a lot of these domestic companies are counting on patriotism to sell their product. And because of that, they have no motivation to deliver a good product. Microsoft has finally got put in a position where they got to start delivering good product or they are going to lose a significant amount of its user base.
This is by far probably like ever since midway through last generation, not so much last gen though, even though last gen was pretty harsh in its own right. But ever since this generation, it's been probably by far the most sickening and disgusting that I've seen from all 3 fan bases. I'm not gonna sound like I'm just gonna choose sides here, but all 3 fucking fan bases at times say the stupidest shit and make me outright sick.
Right.
At times. You know what I mean? And like I can't comprehend, man. And like somebody said in the chat just a second ago, it's a fucking piece of plastic. You're defending, you're branding yourself into this loyalty that has got your mind so fucking corrupted that you're literally, it sounds to me like you got some kind of passionate desire for a piece of fucking plastic. Now, when you actually think on that, and I'm not even saying this shit to be a dick or to be an asshole, but that is just straight up fucking disgusting in its own right. No one, and I repeat, no one should have any form of brand loyalty at all, period. We are gamers at the end of the day. We play fucking video games. That's what we did when we were kids. We grew up, we went out, we rented games, we bought games and popped them in our console and hit that switch button on. That's what we did. So now you got motherfuckers on the Xbox side saying how they have better features on their system, when right now the only one that I can think of on the top of my head that makes any logical sense is Xbox backwards compatibility. That's it. And even that is being generous. It's not like Sony is not doing anything to overcome that backwards compatibility aspect. But every feature, you can now upload pictures and videos to Twitter. Bitch, I've already been able to do that on PS4 for a long ass time. Where the fuck is Microsoft's version of SharePlay? Where the fuck is that? Oh, don't give me that integrated bullshit about fucking Mixer. Fuck that noise. Because I have to be streaming in order for me able to do that. Let alone, I heard people tell me that it's not all that good, especially if your connection sucks balls. No, I can say the same thing too as well for fucking SharePlay. But at least SharePlay, though, is a solo single experience with someone else.
Mm-hmm.
But no, that's not good enough, right?
Right. So what I wanted to try to say to the listeners is I'm trying to like push them to make a stand.
Yeah.
And force this company to deliver some good product. You spent your hard-earned money on this, on this console, $500, $1,000, however much you invested into this ecosystem. And unless you like strictly multiplats, I'm under the impression that you probably did not get a return on your investment. And they are delivering crappy exclusives. They only gave us, what's up, Glacian? They only gave us 2. We're almost halfway through the year, and they've only put out 2 exclusives so far. The third one seems to be in limbo with Crackdown 3. Nobody knows what's going on with this game, so we don't know if it's going to. I originally thought it might get canceled. I don't think it's going to get canceled, but I wouldn't be surprised if it gets released broken, because that's the Microsoft way. That's just how they function. But I'm trying to say it's time for these people to take a stand and force this goddamn company to give you good product for your money.
Yeah.
What's going, Keon?
Lincoln and JWags, just to give you guys a quick little heads up, I saw on Twitter from Undead Labs, they did confirm that items, your stats and your level that you do when you're on, like when you're playing with somebody, like as whoever a host is, and you're just playing as a guest, all that shit carries over in State of Decay 2. They clarified that, which kind of made me wonder. It's like, dude, what the fuck was like the way GameSpot fucking said in their video? It sounded like nothing carries over.
Well, what difference does it make if you can't progress? If you're tied to the host and you can't.
See, that's the thing. There is no progression in that game. That's the only downfall. The only thing that counts or equates to anything that's progression related, because you're still keeping your stats, which technically you're leveling up, and you still keep your items, whatever the case may be. So that's still better than not anything at all. But as far as the only progression that's in that game is how the host essentially is building their base. That's it. That's the only form of actual progression that's there.
Right. So once you leave that game, though, you have no fucking base. You got to start from scratch.
Well, no. When you leave that game, well, technically to an extent, yeah. But with all those items that you gained from that session, whatever the case may be, you're going to be able to power right level through that base that you want.
Trash.
That's
better than other, man. I agree 100%, JWags.
But let me ask you this question, Fatal. I know you're a little more informed about the whole thing than me. Then what is this shit about? People keep hearing. They said there's no progression. Now, technically, there's no story, right? But I'm hearing this. I'm hearing this shit that they said missions are randomly generated, so one playthrough of the same. Tell me how the fuck that works.
You actually, you know, it's funny. I'm glad that you said that. Because I was looking at something, I think it was an FAQ, I believe it was. Give me a second. Let me find it real quick, because it was actually something that was kind of fucking funny that I was reading the other day. It was basically like, there is no story, but like, you can be off doing your own thing. I'm not exactly sure how the fuck that's going to work. I'm not entirely sure. But you're never going to be able to see the same thing twice, if that makes any logical sense. I don't know how true that's going to be, though.
Really, I highly doubt that.
Hey, I'm just telling you.
So you're telling me that basically they're gonna have procedural, whatever you say that, generated missions.
Not like that, no.
Okay, so how the fuck are you never gonna see the same thing twice? They have an infinite amount of missions. There's only a certain amount of missions they put in that game, and people are gonna see it once or twice. Like you're gonna see it over and over again.
Yeah.
There's no possible way that everybody's gonna have a different mission all the time.
See, that's what I was under the impression too as well, and I was just like, wait a minute, that what? That makes no fucking what? That makes no sense. I don't know. I'm trying to remember where the fuck I read it from, dude.
Yeah, so I'm gonna need someone to explain it to me on the podcast tonight, because I heard that shit. That was a big defense. It's like, oh well, it doesn't really matter about your progression because all the missions are randomly generated, so no one playthrough will be the same. I'm like, really?
Yeah, I don't know how true that is, but I'm trying to find that post. Bear with me, man.
It might be in a different order.
Could be.
It's gonna be the same fucking missions, though.
That's what I think their definition is. That's what I think their definitions of these random generated missions is going to be. Is that it'll be the same shit, but it'll be some kind of slightly different twist to it.
I don't think it'll be a twist, even, Clay. I think it's gonna be a different order, like different order of events. Like you might see something. You might do a mission, You might do a mission first
Okay.
that you bite the total like way later in the game. Who knows? But there's no way it's randomly different missions for every fucking person.
All right, so here's what it says. This is what happens when you complete the story mode of this game. This is FAQ, by the way. Does this game end and credits roll, or can players keep progressing through the game? It says here for the answers, State of Decay 2 doesn't have a typical story mode, but each community has its own story that is composed from a dynamic narrative system. Every player's experience is unique to their decisions and their consequences of the choices that they've made. We're not quite ready to reveal the specifics of what happens when you choose to end your community's story, but you definitely have control of when what happens, and if you want a specific community to continue indefinitely, you can do that.
That sounds like
Bro.
that's like my problem with the game, though. Honestly, it's more than that. It's more so the performance issues I'm hearing about.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't mind seeing them get ironed up, but I wouldn't hold my breath.
The fact that this game, and whether people want to say it or not, people are saying it because before they dropped the price down to $30, everybody was hyping this thing up to no end. AAA, right? Everybody thought this was gonna be a next level game. Then it dropped to $30, and then everybody's confused, right? Like, oh, I thought this was supposed to be like a big, blockbuster AAA title. And now people are acting like they never said it was AAA.
Right?
Oh, well, it's only $30, bro. You can't expect much. It's a budget title. Not according to them. Not according to my Xbox, it wasn't supposed to be. They said, oh, well, maybe they were too ambitious and they scaled back. And I forget who I said it to. I said, that perfectly sums up the Xbox console as it sits now.
Yeah.
Scaled back.
Boy, do they
keep... I've heard it all, Lincoln. I've been on Twitter, man. I've heard all the excuses, man. All of them.
See, the thing about it is, I don't even mess with Twitter that much because, like I said, Facebook already has enough drama on there. Yeah.
You may want to actually delete that post that you posted 18 minutes ago of the Hangout link, because anybody can pop in here right now and fucking,
fuck it, bro. Someone pops in, shit. Kick them out.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
Whoa. So how do I find my tweets? I thought I was posting the that shit
just
right
click on the
there.
little arrow button on the tweet and then go down to delete.
Yeah, I found it right there. Delete tweet. Delete. I thought I was posting the link to my YouTube page.
Yeah, you want to be careful with that, because somebody can just pop in here and jack the shit out of your fucking Hangout, dude. Like, no fucks were given, dude.
Mm-hmm. So I hear it. But yeah,
we got a lot to talk about, Lincoln, man. We got a lot to talk about, bro.
Yeah, definitely.
Apparently sales don't matter now.
Yeah. Dude, I had to block that person that said that dumb shit today.
Oh,
I'm like,
man.
I'm sorry, dude, man, but I don't want to ever see this guy ever pop up on my fucking feed from a retweet or wherever the case may be. Fuck that shit.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't believe that. It's like, oh, since when have sales ever mattered? What?
See, that's the crazy part about, and that's why I call these stats, WWE stats, these made up fake stats, because they're giving you every single stat they can come up with, except some sales numbers. If you feel that good about your product, give some sales numbers along with all these other stats you're coming up with.
Yeah, it's crazy, bro. It's crazy. This dude was arguing me forever about the whole God of War thing. I finally said, fuck it, I'm done. I'm done arguing with this guy. And I was talking to other people. He followed me to 3 different threads. 3 different threads today. Just to, it kept harping on what I was saying. I was like, God damn, man, get off my dick, would you? He's like, well, you keep up my time feed. I was like, no, bro. I'm in other people's threads and shit. You're fucking purposely trying to figure out where I'm at. But I don't know. This is gonna be a fun one, man. I got a lot of I got some diehard Sony guys. I got neutrals. I got diehard Xbox guys coming in. Oh man, this is gonna be a bloodbath, Fatal. This is gonna be a a angry podcast. I'm gonna put on this podcast. I'm gonna be myself this podcast. I'm being right now. I'm still in my like calm mood. You know, you guys calm environment like you guys. But this podcast here, man.
I know, dude. I wish I could be there. Fuck
no.
man.
Oh, me and Dirk are gonna go at it.
When you go off in this podcast, that's the J Wags I want to see when you come on the Lincoln Show. I want some yelling and screaming. If I ask you a question, I ask you a question about Microsoft and you think they doing some ridiculous shit, let it out.
Yeah, it's hard, man. Like I said, I would honestly do it if I wasn't doing podcasts tonight, man. I'd let it all out to you now, but I'm trying to save my voice a little bit.
Yeah, save it for the Lincoln Show.
Trying to save my voice a little bit
because it's gonna get bad, man. I got like some people coming that I know I'm gonna fight with, and then you got some people that
I know, you know damn well you and Dirt are gonna clash heads together.
Well, me, Dirt, and then you don't know Moss, Fatal, but Moss is a diehard Xbox guy. He's so diehard that he won't even buy a fucking PS4. He rented a PS4 to play God of War, and then he tells me, you know,
fuck, I want to be there. God damn it!
Hey, now be warned, J Wags. I'm passionate about gaming, and you know what you're getting right here. You know, I've said that before. What you're getting right here is what you're going to get off camera. Any question you ask me about gaming here, you're gonna get the same answer off question. With that being said, I'm not a person that puts on a persona or puts on a character for a company. How I feel about Sony is how I feel about them for real. Same thing about Microsoft. With that being said, if I run into somebody where it comes to a point where I feel like I'm beating my head up against the wall trying to talk to them, I'll just shut up. I'll just shut up and let them run their mouth and just say as much as ridiculous shit as they can come up with.
Whatever you gotta do, man. Listen, I don't put on a persona either, man. Fatal knows, like he's been a podcast with me. I just if I start getting angry about some shit, then yeah.
So yeah, like
but
like, so for
however
instance,
you want
like,
to be, man, in that show.
So
bro.
for instance, I hope that like the way I'm sitting right now, the way my channel is sitting right now, on the Sony IPS, on the thoughts on new Sony IPs. Well, shit, if you're talking about God of War and Detroit Become Human and Spider-Man, shit like that. I mean, the anticipation is high.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, but what I was gonna say, my current mentality and my the way I am now and where my channel is sitting right now, people like the broadband bullies. If I got an invitation to come on their show, I would decline it.
You know, I'm actually part of that, right?
So I would have to decline it because
I don't go on there.
There are some people on there that no matter what you say to them, they're going to try and bend and twist it.
Yeah, I don't go, but
it's, you know, I've seen how some of their conversations turn into a situation where they're not trying to make a good point. They're just trying to find a way to win an argument.
Yeah, we got one of them coming on the show.
I know people like that. I grew up with people like that. That is not about a healthy debate. It's not about them trying to, you know, prove facts to you. It's about them trying to win an argument, even if it means they have to lie to win. And so I know people like that. And those kind of people, you know, like I said, when they start saying like super ridiculous shit, I just let them talk.
Yeah, well, you're about to hear it. I'm not gonna let them. I'll let them finish their point, but I'm gonna go in on it because it's been long overdue. Long overdue.
So I mean, yeah, I mean, I'll get in the conversation and shit like that. But you know, once this, you know, once you get ready to go toe to toe with whoever it is you getting ready to debate with, I'll just sit back and watch the fireworks.
Well, it's like would just be me. It's be a decent amount of people in this one, and so yeah, you know Ryan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Ryan will be there. Carlos will be there.
Okay. Yep.
You guys are the three guests. And then
I'm gonna be listening down the sideline, dude. And I swear to God, if I hear some shit, man, I'm coming in.
Yeah, Fatal, if you feel like you have to, like, I'll be right back.
Well, I mean, even though Xbox is your preferred platform, J Wags, like me, you, Ryan, and Carlos are for the most part on the same page.
Yeah. And we'll be going against people who aren't on the same page, so it's gonna be it's gonna be fun. But and then we have a few people in there that are I think they're gonna phase out, man, or not phase out, but I think they'll be pretty soft spoken to begin with. But once we start going back and forth about this shit, they're not gonna stay too much. And Fail knows what I'm talking about.
Okay, all right.
And we got Griffin Gaming coming back. He's pretty good on his shit too. He's pretty fair.
Oh, he's gonna be there too.
Yeah, you know Griffin.
I just subscribed to him a couple of weeks ago because I mean his video that I happened to see, I can't remember what the video was, but he definitely went in. I think he went in on Sea of Thieves. I mean, he went in so hard that I thought he didn't even like Microsoft.
No, he's a Microsoft guy. He's an Xbox guy.
Yeah, and then a couple of videos later, I saw that he was an Xbox guy, so I subscribed to him. And then when he came back a couple of videos later and made it clear that the Xbox is still his preferred platform, I said, okay, cool. Now, truth be told, I think Griffin Gaming is what Randall Thor should be.
Mm-hmm.
You want to have Xbox as your preferred platform? Fine, but don't hold back on them. Call them out on their bullshit.
Oh yeah, he gets pegged for being a fanboy, and that's why, because he doesn't hold their feet to the fire.
Mm-hmm. And I've heard that before, that because of his connections with Phil Spencer and whoever else over there, because he spoke to him once or twice or something like that, that he kind of won't pull the trigger on them whenever they put out bullshit.
Right. Yep. Shit's gonna be wild, man. I'm pretty fucking excited about it. We haven't had one of these yet where it's like we've gotten some heated debates before with even Fatal and not Fatal me really, but Fatal and other people on there. But this is gonna be on another level, man. It's like no name calling and shit, no you fucking idiot. None of that. No, just general, we're gonna prove some points. We're gonna see who's bullshitting. Try to open some eyes up around here. I can't do it anymore, man. I can't do it. Like I said, my one boy is gonna come in here, man. Like I said, he's the broadband bully guy. He's gonna start spewing all this shit about God of War, yada. And then I'm a murder him with the rent the PlayStation thing. I'm murdering with that shit.
With the what?
He won't buy an Xbox or a PS4. He said the exclusives do nothing for him. He has no reason for it. Well, so he didn't buy a PlayStation. He didn't have one, a PS4. And he went to Aaron's and rented a PS4 to play God of War and then returned it.
Oh, God.
So not only
is this dude a YouTuber? I mean,
yeah.
Excuse me, sorry.
So you're gonna put him out in the street then?
Oh yeah, well he's made it apparent. He's talked about it before, but I'm gonna try to that's good ammo for me, man, because he'll start going to PlayStation exclusives. I'm like, oh, because he's never played Uncharted and the other ones though. So
the only thing that me and J-Wags have ever came close to arguing over something was when he was questioning me about no.
Oh,
before that, before that was Zoo Tycoon.
Oh yeah, we were I wasn't serious about that.
No. That was the closest thing to an argument though.
Yeah.
That lasted for all of 30 seconds.
Well, see, that was before I knew how you were though. I used to think you were being serious sometimes. I'd be like, Fatal, are you fucking kidding me?
No, bro. No. Well, more people are starting to adapt to my taste of garbage. If I can say that
I was pretty baffled, bro, when you said I never said Griffin Game was a fanboy. Root Fawn, okay, except for now. The one thing you said, man, I was like, I could not believe.
Oh, when I gave No Man's Sky my game of the year. No Man's
Sky your game of the year. I was like, fuck yeah.
I was like, no, and I was being dead serious about that.
Yeah, but even I think I told you I was like that's fine, you have a preference, but fuck that.
No, but I mean it's not like I'm saying fucking it's it deserves to be that. No, it's just under my own personal game of the year.
Yeah, your game of the year.
Yeah, my game of the year, yeah. Hellblade was my game of the year last year. No Man's Sky was 2016, 2015 was Bloodborne. Close second though was Until Dawn, but Bloodborne obviously takes the cake for that one. This year right now, God of War has got that shit on lockdown so far, man. But we'll see what Spider-Man brings. And
I've seen these arguments, man. Someone said today, I don't know, Halo 5 did 5 million in 3 months. I was like, yeah. and what do you mean? In 3 days, 3.1 million. You don't think it's gonna surpass that?
No, it's gonna easily surpass that.
In 3 days.
That motherfucker in 3 days. Yo,
it's 1 million copies a day. More than that. That's ridiculous.
That could very well happen within a week.
Yo, I don't even think Breath of the
Oh.
Wild even did that in 3 fucking
No,
days.
not 3 days. No.
Holy titty nipples. That's awesome sauce. Well, just like Ryan just said, he goes, I'm a game whore. Never doubt that. And
You guys-
Ryan's absolutely right.
Did you guys hear that? Did you guys hear that shit? The other narrative they're talking about now, where they're saying, 3.1 million units in an 80 million install base.
Oh, yeah, of course, man.
Like,
Look, I can say the exact
I was
same
like,
thing as well. Oh, well, look at this. Fucking Sunset Overdrive only sold less than 500,000. You got a fucking 35 million install base on your belt? Fuck off.
it's 3 fucking days.
Yeah.
Mhm.
3 fucking days. And that's not even like,
There's
that's not
no-
even the
there's-
first fucking week, bro.
There's no way you can dissect that. There's no way you can discredit that. 3 million
So that's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday within 3
in
fucking
3
days.
fucking days.
That is fucking, yo.
And guess what? That's not Game Pass shit included in there. Okay,
Nope.
that's $60 full release game.
Although I will say though, J-Wags, just in defense to what I said a long time ago about Game Pass, I knew Game Pass wasn't going to fucking be the end all be all for these days or day and date games like Sea of Thieves and everything like that. That was before we knew that Sea of Thieves was going to be garbage. That was before. When I made that prediction, I said on your show, I said on Titanfall show, and many others too as well, leading into the launch of that game.
We don't know
Told
though,
people.
Vado.
Well, I mean, we've already if you're going based on fucking on the MPD shit, whatever the case would be, and that game was like number 2 on that motherfucking list, dude, and we all know that MPD is definitely could see the numbers. It still proves my fucking point nonetheless. Now, a State of Decay, on the other hand, though, that has yet to be seen. Crackdown 3, that ain't gonna sell worth a shit. We already know that. Nobody wants. Look, the only way fucking Crackdown 3 is gonna fucking sell is if Halo 6 beta comes with it. That's it. Which is probably why we haven't heard anything, which is why we'll probably definitely see something at E3 this year, because they're going to announce fucking Halo 6 at E3. Oh, we're going to do a beta, and that shit's going to be attached to motherfucking Crackdown 3. I'm calling that shit.
But you know what? No. I don't think so. Why? Because the memberships will probably go up for Game Pass again once the game gets near its launch.
Nah, I doubt that, dude. I don't see them doing that. And shit, I just paid $6 for another month of Game Pass there fucking 2 days ago.
So while we're on the subject of Game Pass, I asked Carlos that yesterday. I was checking out a
good interview,
Foxy.
by the way. Good interview.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Too bad he was, I was able to understand most of his answers, though. He did some botting, but it wasn't, but we were still able to understand maybe 80% of his answers. Anyway, and one of the questions that I asked him was about Game Pass getting a price hike in Europe.
In Europe?
Yeah.
Kind of like
Foxy UK said that in his video that the price of Game Pass is going up in Europe, in the UK or whatever. And it's like the equivalent of like $3. So $3 is not that much, but I got 2 problems with it. One is you don't have quality content to even, for me to even sign up for Game Pass in the first place. Second, you're raising the price after only 2-3 months.
No, longer than that. Game Pass has been out since November last year.
Still not even a whole year yet, and you're raising the price. And somebody jumped on there and had to point out that Sony raised the price of PSN back in 2016. Yep. I was like, yeah, but at least they waited 2 years to do it. There's like Game Pass hasn't even been out a whole year yet, and they did it. So with that being said, how long you think it's going to take before they raise the price over here in the States?
Well, I'm already paying technically almost $13 at the tax, Canadian wise, over here for a month of that shit. Yeah, outside from this month, though, because they had a deal thing going on for whatever you want to call it. But normally I usually pay around 12 something after tax.
Mm-hmm.
So it's almost up there to that $3 threshold already. But if it's going up again, fuck me. That's great.
Yeah, exactly. What about you, Jay? How long you think before they take the raise it in the US?
I think J-Wags left to get ready for a show.
No, my bad. I think my prediction is that they're going to raise it when this E3, whether they announce the new Gears or new Halo, whatever else. I think when that new Gears or Halo drops, like an actual AAA game comes out, I think that's when they'll decide to raise the price a little bit.
Mm-hmm. That's what I was thinking. That's when I thought they would do it, when these next gen games start hitting, when the new Halos, when the new Gears, Forza, Perfect Dark, and all that stuff. That's when I thought they'd do it. Not a damn, 6 months, 4 months, whatever. Yeah, Ken, I remember the Sega channel. I never got around to playing it though, but I definitely remember it. But I think by the time the Sega channel came out, you know, the Sega Genesis was starting to fade out with me. I think I was entering that stage where I was chasing a lot of women out in the streets and shit like that. So, so that was kind of the priority then. And I didn't
shit.
So I really didn't. I don't think I got back into gaming seriously until I bought the Sega Saturn.
So before I get ready to go for got to leave here in a minute there to go to Titanfall's podcast. What have you guys been playing the last couple of days?
God of War.
God of War. I'm still trying to platinum that shit.
Yeah, but that's cool that you got to take off here pretty soon because I'm going to shut it down here myself in about 10 minutes because I want to be able to shoot to the store and grab some food before I jump in with Jay Wags. Because I haven't.
Yeah, that motherfucker always gives me shit for that too as well. If I tell him I have to leave in the middle of his show to go to the store, wait, why didn't you just go before that?
No, I just message you. I'm like, damn, I want you to go to the store once.
See, that's why. Well, that's
like,
why.
Dude, I need my exercise like bro. Every day.
I need my exercise.
Yeah, I gotta get my shit together for lunch tomorrow. I mean, for work tomorrow. So
yeah, I understand that. But it's like with Fatal, man, he goes to the store like every day, if not twice a day.
Yeah, dude, a lot of the times I go down like fucking 4 times a day.
Why don't you go down there, buy everything you got to buy once, unless you get paid like
why would I go down? Why would I go down once and get like fucking 4 coffees and they'll be
shit? Just build your house right next to a Walmart, knock the damn wall out, so you can just get
or Fatal. You know, you can get a Keurig. You're a coffee maker,
dude. It's not the same. It doesn't take that shit out of here, bro. No, I'm playing. No, but I went down today fucking earlier, so I'm good now.
Going down to Hortons.
I already got my fucking big ass 50 pack of Timbits sitting in front of me for fucking Titanfall's podcast. I am good to go.
You know those those walks you see in the airport that's almost like a flat escalator. Those walks, you can build one of those from your house to Walmart. Just knock the wall out.
First of all, I would never shop at Walmart. Number one. Number 2, what?
No, I would say, what time's Titanfall's podcast?
8 o'clock. She's setting up the link at like fucking 5 minutes.
Damn. Okay.
To answer my question that I was asking you guys about what games you guys are playing, I bought yesterday Conan Exiles on the Xbox. The game launches there on the next week on the 8th for everybody, but I wanted to get into it and play it and shit and see what it was like, dude.
Okay.
I find it hilarious that fucking only in North America, man, you can only allowed to have partial nudity. You can't have full nudity. If you live in the UK, you can have full nudity, but not in America. That's fucking stupid.
And shit, America, we have one of the freakiest countries on the planet.
Right? But anyways,
we have a censored ass country
right now, so I'm gonna pop out of here. So thanks for having me on there, Lincoln. I appreciate it.
Yep, no problem. But tell Titanfall if I can, depending on how long I'm in Jay Wags, I'll pop over into her podcast too, depending on how long she's gonna be on.
Yeah, I'll let her know. All right, so, get you guys in the flip side. Jay Wags, I'll be listening to your podcast on the sideline, my brother, man.
Yes, sir. Yep. Yes, sir. Like I said, all right. I'll link in a group chat, man.
Have a good one, guys.
All right, bro.
Yep. All right. So with that being said, folks, that's about it. We're gonna go ahead and shut this down so I can get ready to move on over to Jay Wags podcast. Like I said, subscribe to him and come on over there and check us out. Sounds like it's going to be
it's going down, Lincoln.
Yeah, so
it's going down, I say.
So it probably sounds like it's going to be about as brutal of a fight that you can get while still keeping your gloves on.
I'm starting out the gate pissed off, bro. That's all I'm gonna be. I got to set the tone. I usually do the podcast that when I come out, I'm in a good mood, you know. What's going on, buddy? It's JOS 412, yada yada. This time I'm going straight ahead.
It's going to be at 8 p.m. Eastern, Ryan. So make sure you check it out. Like I said, subscribe to him. Yeah. So if you want to, you know what, yeah, if you want to go ahead and give them your Twitter, you know, so they can follow you there.
Yeah, I'll do the outro quick, man. Thank you to Lincoln for having me on. Always a pleasure to be on here. I see you only 2 subs away from 100. That's fantastic. Congratulations. You will certainly get that. You'll eclipse that in no time at all tonight, I'm sure. But yeah, guys, my Twitter handle's at JWest412, channel name JWest412. I do comedy skits, rants, gaming news, classic shit, all kind of anything game related. I do it. You name it, I do it. But thanks for having me on, man. I'll see you shortly.
Oh yeah, thanks for popping in here because that definitely kept the ball rolling and made things interesting. And so everybody, that's going to wrap it up for me. Like I said, make sure you jump on over to Jay Wags podcast. And if for those, you know, you can also check out Titanfall Princess's podcast too. She's going to be on as well. So if you can do two things at once, great. But you know,
yeah, that's kind of a hard one to do there.
Oh yeah,
Listen to
no
your
doubt.
podcast. Yeah.
Yep, thanks, Ryan. I appreciate it. So with that being said, we're gonna wrap it up. I need to go get some food so I can get ready to get in the ring with these dudes. And we will talk to you guys later. This is Lincoln Clay and my boy Jay Wags. We will holler at y'all later. We out.